Hello everyone, welcome to another Travian video. In this video I will explain how to send one wave, so multiple attacks arriving in the same second. For this we will use the atomic clock again. If you don't know how to use it in Travian, then watch my previous video. I will post the link in the description. I will first handle briefly the in-game Travian wave builder, and then afterwards I will show you the method that most experienced people use. So the in-game wave builder, there is some critic about it, but honestly it's a perfect tool to use if you are not used to sending waves. Let's say you have a duo who normally does all the missions and you have to do twice a mission the server, then it's perfect. It's super easy to use. It's like really beginner friendly. So I just add some attacks. Add some attacks. Add as wave. Add some more. Copy wave. Copy wave. So look, it's very easy to use, fast to set up. Now there are some issues with it. There is actually two major issues. The first major issue is that the attacks are not guaranteed to arrive in the same second. Only the first two are guaranteed to arrive in the first second. Then the other two, obviously there's like a high chance that they will arrive in the same second. I think it's 80% that all four attacks will arrive in the same second. There is 15% that it will be 3 plus 1, and it will be 5% that it's like 2 and 2. So it's not like super bad or anything, but you know, it means 1 in 5 missions on average. The attacks won't land in the same second, so it will be easy to cut some katas by our opponents. So either one wave which will be 300 katas or two waves which will be 600 kata. So we don't want that. The second major issue is that you can only have one set of attacks ready. So let's say you need to attack 2 targets. Well, you cannot open just a new tab, have the same screen ready. So if you have to send these attacks with like a difference of 10 seconds apart, it's not possible. Once you send one, then the other one will not save somehow. So if you send confirm on the second set of attacks, it will just not launch. And obviously, like, this is kind of messed up when you have to do perfect timings for the mission. So that's why if you really want to be a hardcore player, good player, experienced player, whatever you tell me, then we are using a different method, which is, in my experience, again, 100% perfect. Like it works perfectly. It's also, of course, legal to use because we don't use scripts or bots or anything like that. The first thing you need to do is to download Opera browser. Opera browser is, I think, the third most used browser in the world. It's a bit like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. You can just Google it and download the latest version. Once you have downloaded it, you open it and you go to Settings. So you press on the O from Opera, go to Settings, Advanced. You go to Advanced again. You scroll completely down, and then you make sure that Enable Advanced Keyboard Shortcuts is on. So this really need to be on for this to work. Then you go to Configure Shortcuts and you scroll down a bit until you found Switch Right Through Tabs, and you enter a new, you make a new shortcut with the Enter button. So I think there's one pre-installed, so you just remove it or you add a new one, Enter. Nothing more, nothing less. You save the settings. I don't think it needs saving. You just close them, and then you go to Travian and I'll show you how. So first we will use the atomic clock again. Of course we will use it. It's here. press on the mini timer because it's really like useful for me personally that it always stays in front. So let's attack my friendly neighbor again. So what we do is we add one attack. We open a new tab. Add a second attack. Forward attack. You see, it takes a little bit more time to set up as the in-game wave builder, but the results are just 100% accurate in my experience, so I think it's worth it. And then we also always take like an empty tab. I will explain you later why. So we have force attacks set up. So what we need to do now is we right click on the time and we press enter a couple of times until the cursor is on confirm for all 4 attacks. So how this actually works is that we have our cursor on confirm. When we press enter now, the confirm button will be activated. But at the same time, because we have a short key with the enter, that will go to the next tab, we will go to this tab. So what we need to do now is to press 4 times confirm in a row, just fast. So let's say we want to arrive at 15 minutes after, then we need to send at 00. So I will just press enter 4 times when it hits 0. Of course, you have to be fast. We always take an empty tab because if you press enter too much, then like the attacks will not be fucked up, but you'll enter like some random screens and shit, so you don't want that. So we go to the screen, and what do we see? All 4 attacks land in the exact same time as you want them to arrive. So this is like the basics. It's super easy to use. I can do this a million times without any mistakes. So the first major issue with the in-game wave builder was that attacks don't arrive at the perfect second. Well, with this method, they will always arrive at the perfect second. Now the second issue with the in-game wave builder is that you cannot have multiple attacks ready. Well, here you simply can, so I will show you. Okay, so I have the attack set up for you. What I always do when I have to send 2 waves or sometimes even 4 waves is that I will add a number of empty tabs depending on in which order I have to send them. So for example, I have to send this one first, then I'll add 1 empty tab. Then I have to send this one, and I'll add 2 empty tabs. Because otherwise, you know, like the attacks resemble each other a little bit, so it can be confusing for the brain. And speaking of my own experience, so this way it's like easier to check in which order you have to send them once you have set the attacks ready. So let's say I have to send this one at 29:10, oh no, 30:10, and I have to send this one at 30:20. So let's be ready. So 10. Press enter 4 times. Press enter 4 times. So let me count the times. And what do you see? Perfect timing. 20, 20, 20, 10, 10, 10. So what's even better is that you can actually have multiple attacks ready from different villages. I will show you again. So I put the attacks ready for you guys. So first we have to send from 05, then from 02. Because you have to send first from 05, you have to make sure that the Travian is activated in this village, so I'll open a new tab once. Tap back on confirm. So what we need to do now is we have to launch these 4 attacks, and then we have to switch the village to village 02. I always do it from the village that I first sent from. So, but you can also do it from the new attacks. Okay, so let's say we have to send at 20 from 05 and at 30 from 02. So let's see, these attacks perfect, these attacks perfect. What a surprise. No, not really, because this method is actually very good, and I'm even lagging a bit because I have the recording program open and it still works perfectly. So this is it for this video. If you have more questions about this subject, please don't hesitate to send me a message on YouTube or Discord. I think I'll make some more videos in the future about interesting stuff like this. If you have any suggestions, you can also just ask me. I'll check into it. Yeah, thank you for watching and have fun sending missions.